Welcome back to Community Table. My name is Taylor Reshka, and I am a food photographer based out of the Roanoke, Virginia area. And Community Table is all about community ingredients. This show is in part with CNF Farms. They're a local meat producer in the Southwest Virginia area that really preach to know where your food comes from, know the process. And that's really important to me as well. One of the things we're doing with CNF Farms is just highlighting different ways you can cook your local community ingredients. So today we're doing London Broil. London Broil is kind of a leaner, tougher meat, but still delicious. What we do with those leaner cuts of meat is two things. We either braise it or like low and slow in a crock pot or marinate. Now, beef and broccoli is all about marination. Now, some marinades are all about imparting the flavor into the meat. Now, that is part of it for beef and broccoli, but another part of it is using ingredients like cornstarch and baking soda to really break down those fibers so you have a tender piece of meat as well. Here's our ingredients for beef and broccoli. We have our London broil. I have a little half because I marinated some overnight. We got our broccoli. We have some chicken stock that I actually made using CNF Farms whole chicken. Sometimes I make chicken salad for my wife, and I make stock out of the rest. Some Asian pantry ingredients that I have in my home all the times. We got sesame oil for a great flavor, soy sauce, mirin or rice wine, and then oyster sauce. Sometimes when people are like, oh, I'm really trying to get that takeout flavor, and there's two ways you can do that, which is Shaoxing wine, which is another ingredient you could put in this recipe, and oyster sauce. It sounds gross to a lot of people, but I'm telling you, this is a key ingredient to a lot of those Chinese takeout favorites. Our first step to make beef and broccoli is to prep the beef for its marinade. Let's go to it. So this is half of what a London broil usually is. I cut it in half to kind of prep the other side so we're not waiting all day. But with this piece of meat and to marinate, instead of just keeping it like this, we're going to butterfly it or cut in half, whatever term you want to use. I'm going to go center-ish. I'm not perfect. Just kind of put it in half. Now it's just, a little thinner. Now, when we're cutting for the beef, we got to work the grain. Grain's going this way. We want to cut against the grain. So I'm going to cut this in half again. And you can cut this in cubes, weird shapes, Ninja Turtles, whatever you want to do. But for the marinade to hit, try this first. This recipe you can do with stew beef as well. I've done it with CNF Farms stewed beef. But this is just one way to do it. We cut against the grain. And you'll know if you're going with the grain, because it'll be so much easier to cut. Okay, now we got all this beef. Wash your hands. So now we're going to set the beef aside. The marinade. First, you're going to do about a tablespoon to a little more. This is about a pound and a half of beef. Sesame oil. Sesame oil is really fragrant. Just bang. I like it, so I can put another bang. And the other part of this is cornstarch to kind of stick to the meat, and then baking soda. You don't need a lot. That's probably too much and messy. I think a teaspoon will do. And what the baking soda is going to do is it's going to help break down all those muscle fibers. And I didn't bring it with me, but I got a fork. And really, really whisk that. Good. And now we put the beef in. And then with your hands, it's icky. Don't care. Do it. And at first it doesn't look like a lot of marinade, but it really coats everything you need. Get that excess cornstarch in there. It really is going to coat the whole piece of meat. It sounded a little gross, but there you go. Wash your hands. All right. Now, you should put the marinade in the fridge for at least 20 minutes. If you're just like, beef and broccoli, and you have 20 minutes, put it in the fridge for 20 minutes. Now, preferably overnight. The more time it has to adhere, break down the fibers, the better it's going to be. Now, this is a little thing I like to do. I like to cover it with saran wrap. Now, the way I like to do it, I'm patting it all the way to the meat. So it really forces everything to touch, to mingle, and to adhere. And this bowl isn't the best to do it. Glass bowls are really good at this. I like to tuck it in, and now all the beef is touching, which is great. So pop this into the fridge for at least 20 minutes, but preferably overnight. Now, while that's marinating, let's get this broccoli. Now, all you gotta do is steam the broccoli, and it doesn't take that much. We got great fresh broccoli. You do about a pound for a pound of meat, you know, equal measure. So this is about a pound and a half.
What do you say?
And cut it however you like it. And then you just put a little bit of water in. Not too much. Remember, we're just steam. I like to, the rule of thumb is once I start seeing it come up to sides, I stop. And then we use saran wrap once again. And really, we only want this until it turns green. So let's, yeah, this bowl is, I might be able to cover it in one. Ooh, yeah, love that. And be tight, because we want to keep that steam in there. And then we're going to use our best sous chef, Chef Mike. Chef Microwave. Get it? Get it? Let's steam some broth. So, to make the sauce that we're going to toss everything in, first let's start with about 1/3 of a cup of chicken stock. I made this at home. And I am eyeballing things like a mad villain. We do about 1/4 cup of oyster sauce. Again, I am eyeballing the crap out of the couple splashes of rice wine. I'm using mirin. It's a little sweeter, and it's what I had. And then we also add a little bit of cornstarch. We're kind of making a slurry. I should just measure that, and I don't. So let's stir that all together. So that's our sauce for when we make the beef. And look, the broccoli. Hot. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. So, nice and steamed. It's not a crime to steam broccoli. Oh, it's the fire department. This food is fire. Like it. Yep, see how green that is? That's what we want. And I will drain out the water. But this we want to set aside for when we do the beef blacking. Okay, so it's kind of a little fast and furious at first. First, you want to turn the burner on. Fire! Now, we're going to use neutral avocado oil. You want to use, especially if you're going to do a high heat, you want to do a high smoke point oil. Avocado oil, grapeseed oil, those are things that have been suggested. You can use vegetable oil if you want. Don't use olive oil. And don't use sesame oil. Those smoke points, you're going to burn things. We don't want that. Keep things moving. Either, with this, you can do the wok motion if you want. Don't have to. It really helps sear the beef. Really gives that flavor. Once that's all done, we're going to put the broccoli in, put some garlic in. So, stay with me. It's probably nice and loud. So just keep it moving. Keep it moving. That's all we want to do. And I mean, you can wait 2 seconds to put garlic in. That's fine. But we don't want anything sticky. And the key to that is keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Hey, no slacking. No. Let's see if I remember how to... No. Let's not do that. It smells great with the garlic too. And there's some bigger chunks of garlic you'll see in there. I tend to cut it a little bigger because it's harder to burn. Sounds weird, but it's true. So I'm just going to let things kind of sear a little bit. But see, now there's brown bits down in here. That's going to be great flavor. You can't smell this. It smells good.
And it's just one of many ways that you can use ingredients that are available right in your hometown. I love using local ingredients because I get to know the people providing it. I get to have some trust with some people. Knowing what's happening with my food makes me feel better. And I'm a big guy. I like food. All right. So I think that's good enough to put in the broccoli. Now we're just going to combine it. And I probably could have done more broccoli. Broccoli out. That's fine. Okay. So now, make sure, give it one more stir to make sure all that cornstarch is incorporated. And just cascade it over. It's going to be very liquidy at first. That's okay. We want the heat to coat everything. The heat to activate the cornstarch, and it'll coat everything. We want the liquid to simmer a little bit, because that'll mean it'll activate that cornstarch. I'm actually going to try to evaporate some of it, to be honest. Sometimes this happens when you put too much liquid in. So I might have put too much chicken stock in. That might have been a cup rather than a third of a cup. I do that quite often. So remember earlier, I'm like, I'm just winging it. Winging it has consequences. But to me, all you got to do is crank that heat up. Let some of that evaporate. So while that evaporates, I'm going to go plate the rice, and then I'll show you the finished dish. All right, and there you have it. Beef and broccoli. Great for a quick meal on the weeknight, or if you're trying to mass prep for a week like I do sometimes, this is a great way to do it. Now, if you do some meal prep with this, with the rice, put a little water in before you heat it up so it steams while you heat it up, but simple, quick, and delicious. Thank you so much for joining us again on Community Table, where we're highlighting community ingredients. Please let me know what recipes you would like to see, what cuts of meat you would like to see, and if you've made this. I'm gonna go eat. I'll talk to you later.